recording every episode. By the way, yeah, that's better. Cool. Okay, Ben says that's better. It's better. This is better anyway.
Nice.
Ben would know because Ben
does video.
Ben is a multimedia extraordinaire with Brand Army. So check him out, Brand Army, I guess .com, right? Right, Ben? I think it's brandarmy.com. That dude is
Brand Army.
Brand Army. See, do you guys got a jingle? You guys need one? All right. It looks like we are recording on our device here, so we are good to go.
We're live on both streams.
That's brandarmy.org. .org. Really? What are you, a 501c? What are you doing over there? You help it up?
Oh!
No bueno. No bueno.
Put that in front of it.
Oh,
there you go. That's good.
That's perfect. All right. Don't worry, folks. We're going to get money, and then we can actually get I'm letting him borrow my phone stand. That's the only reason, because I'm a good guy. And I let
because I have a small phone.
He has a small phone, guys.
Oh, I don't feel insecure at all about that.
Yeah, well, you know.
You want to roll the intro?
It's not about the phone. What's that?
You roll the intro? Let's do this.
Let's roll the intro. We are recording and checking my levels. Checking my levels. Do I sound okay to you?
You're not cracking.
All right, cool. No cracking.
Because you know what they say.
If you're not cracking, you're not trying, right? That was lame. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Try a little harder.
I'm really sorry about that.
It was a racial joke. You didn't go with it.
Ah.
About not cracking. Oh, you got it.
It's a good thing you're a Puerto Rican.
Yeah, I can get away with it.
All right.
It's called brown license.
Brown license. Testing 1 2. Okay, so that works. All right, guys, I'd like to invite everybody to Righteous Anger podcast number
3.
3. Oh my gosh, we made it.
Made it to 3.
We made it. If you make it to 3, that's all you need. You're famous. I'm famous. Are you famous?
I don't know. It might be.
Nobody knows me.
Am I famous? I'm
No,
asking. No, but nobody cares.
Nobody on your feed gives a shizzle-nit.
We are so high tech. Apparently.
What's going on, Ritz? How you doing? Ritz is on. We are totally high tech. I got the arm. Look at this arm. Look at that. How cool is that?
It's so high tech.
It is so high tech.
If it was robotic, it'd just follow you around.
Oh, robotic arm would be sick.
Robotic arm for a mic.
I would love it. I would just control it from my phone like everything else. All right, let me get to the intro. Okay, so I'd like to, I guess I would like to welcome everybody to episode 3 of the Righteous Anger Podcast. I love that. Oh, let me turn it off. I love that. Okay, so, guys, you know what the name of the game is here. We get righteously angry. Well, I get righteously angry. He just gets angry.
I get angry about everything.
About everything. Hold on, you're popping at me, Aaron.
Oh, my God.
Ouch. Let me turn you down a bit.
Yeah.
So today's where we at? Let me get my handy dandy sheet of topics here. What? Oh, the coals. Can you help me with that?
I got you.
All right, he's helping me with the coals. You're going to get, my people are going to get to see Eric in action. Here we go. Let's check him out, guys. Oh, yeah. Look at that sexy body. Oh, man. This is hookah. Oh, hey, did I tell you that somebody actually said they were listening to our podcast, but they couldn't listen any longer because we were smoking hookah?
What do you mean they couldn't listen? It was too morally offensive to their sensibilities?
I guess. I don't know. The guy in particular doesn't believe smoking is a good thing, and so he's frowning upon us.
Drink coffee?
What?
Does he drink coffee?
I think he drinks coffee.
Well, then he's a hypocrite.
He's a hypocrite because that's a drug, guys. Coffee is a drug. I know because I drink about maybe 30 cups a day, and I'm not exaggerating. Not even one bit.
Yeah, we just dropped coals on the floor.
Good thing that's linoleum. Oh, get it. Oh. Oh. It's burning. Where's the thingy at? Oh my God. Tanya is going to be so pissed. Oh. You're fired, Eric.
I'm so fired.
Oh, you know what, though? You know, it's kind of cool. It looks distressed.
Let me go get some dry ones.
Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. Just a couple of coals burning through my floor. While he's fixing that, let's see. My hookah is in the basement. We got to compare notes. Oh, absolutely. Stan is laughing at us. Thanks, Stan. Appreciate that. You're a minister. Don't laugh at people. Disadvantage. It's a decorative feature now. Yes, exactly. Dude, wait, let's bring him over here. Let me see this. Can you guys see that? Oh.
So epic.
Oh. Really? Really? I got some nice distressed fake wood now. Linoleum wood.
Linoleum wood.
There we go. Okay, now we're back. Sorry about that, folks. Oh my gosh. Now you guys can see down my hallway. That's a little too close. I don't think I like you looking down my hallway. Guys can look at my tattoo setup. There we go. All right. So, what are we going to talk? Oh, come on. I got to get a phone thing. This is ridiculous. Oh, so bad.
I have a bag of stuff I need to get you.
The quality level is just going down by the second. All right. Up. Come on. Okay. Stop falling down. Jeez. All right, we're back. Okay. I forgot there's a camera looking at me over there, too. Hello, Eric's people.
Anybody say anything hilarious?
Nothing but LOLs. Just straight LOLs. Eric's destroying Leo's house. Congratulations on that one. No, it's cool. It's a feature. It's distressed wood. It's all good. All right, I guess it's all up to me for the show. It's all up to me. All right. So today we're going to talk about some major things that are going on today. I want to make sure that each and everybody that's watching this podcast right now, okay, please, I want you to tell me what right now is like. This is homework for right this second. I don't mean later. It's not rhetorical. But give me something right now that's burning you up. Not my floor. Something that's burning you up inside of your heart right now. Something that gets you angry, righteously angry. Well, Eric, I'm gonna read people's stuff. What's going on, Heather? Heather's in the house. Your phone's too far away, so I can't really see what's going on.
I got mine on here right here.
Who is that? Who's Hitler 1983? Who's that?
Hitler 1983.
Is that a friend of yours? That guy's sick. You're actually checking, dude. I'm kidding. There's no.
Oh, I was gonna say, wait a second.
There's no Hitler 1983. You'd have to reevaluate your friends on Facebook, man. If you had a Hitler 1980, would Facebook even allow that?
I would hope so.
Hitler 1983. That's cool.
Free speech, baby.
There are Hitlers still, though, right? No.
What do you mean?
Did they just get rid of that name? Is there like?
That name has been banned. No one's allowed to use
No one's allowed to have the name Hitler, and no one's allowed to have the Charlie Chaplin mustache, which was for the time, the 1920s and 30s and 40s. History lesson needs to happen over here. That was a sexy mustache. The Hitler mustache. That used to be the Charlie Chaplin, then he took it. Wait a minute. Hitler steals everything. Look, he stole the mustache. He took the name away from everybody.
He took Germany. He took Poland.
That's a terrible joke, dude. We're trying to keep this above board.
He took Poland.
No, did you know he also took
George Bush took painting.
George Bush did take. Hey, you guys see George Bush's paintings? George Jr.
Junior.
Have you guys seen this dude's paintings? Holy crap, they're actually not that bad.
Yeah, he's actually a pretty good impressionist.
He's not bad. He's not good. I mean, take it from me. I'm an artist. He's not good,
He's not good.
but he's not bad.
He's not bad
He's
either.
Not a bad guy.
He's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't buy one of those. Let's put it that way.
So
Well,
when you
yeah,
decide
I
to
would.
do hardwood in here, just like let me know. I'll come over for the weekend. We'll get that shit done. We'll just put hardwood down.
Look at
Replace this.
look.
I'll help you out.
Look at that. You are a man among men.
What's
Did you
that?
did you turn that thing down?
It's
or
off.
Okay,
It's
cool.
off.
All right, so the hookah's back on. We know people that are into hookah now. I got new hookah friends, so that's cool.
Right on.
Stan. They're actually pretty good. Oh, okay. All right. Well,
They're not bad.
some of them are like fantastic though.
His Obama could use a little work.
His Obama looks like literally my 4-year-old did it. It's not good. Not good. He must have finger painted that one. Or something. He used like he pretended like he was armless and just used his mouth.
Yeah, let me just use the elbow.
Yeah. All right, it's a masterpiece. And you know what the sad thing is? Well, I guess the cool thing for him is that those are like $1 zillion now. That guy could literally blast diarrhea onto a canvas
And still make millions.
and that's like $1 million thing because a president did it.
I'm looking up. Whoa, don't pull too hard. You almost pulled your whole kit down. You know what we got to do? We got to go Wi-Fi eventually.
Wi-Fi would be good.
Yeah. Yeah, he's even got a painting of Vladimir Putin.
No, I like his Vladimir.
Yeah.
And then he's got another one of
Oh, dear old dad.
he's got a naked one of Laura.
Really? Wouldn't put it past him.
Honestly, I saw that, and it's obviously not. That's got to be fake.
It's not
There's
the
no
real deal.
way he. I mean, he might have. The guy's. He's an artist. I mean, he can do whatever he wants.
Anybody watching? Yeah, let me see if you guys can see it online.
The paintings.
His dear old dad painting's pretty good. I like that one.
Yeah, the one of senior.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like
That is a
that.
good one. So okay, enough about that. So
Rundown.
as you guys know, so there's been some rapings going on, in the world.
Hide your kids.
Hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your husbands too, 'cause they're raping everybody
Up in here.
up in here. Guys, remember that one? That was a classic.
That was a good meme.
That was a great meme. So,
Bring it back, bring it
but in serious news, yeah, there's like in Rockville, Maryland, some serious, nasty things going on there. We're gonna talk about, get a little angry about. We're gonna talk about the London terrorism a little bit. We really don't know exactly what's going on right now, so we don't want to,
Details are still coming out.
we don't want to talk out of like our ass or whatever. But details are still coming out.
I do.
You'll talk out of your ass,
I'm okay with that.
and I'll use my mouth.
Yeah. Hey, they have a name for that.
Okay, stop. We're gonna have a little, maybe have a little tech talk with Eric, since that's one of his biggest.
Yeah, tech talk.
He loves technology.
Technology.
What was that? Japanese?
No, it was Eric.
Technology?
Yeah, because I don't want to be racist.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you out on your apparent racism.
Yeah, it's so subtle.
We're gonna talk about Iron Fist. Did you guys?
Yeah.
Hey, go ahead and give me Hey, Jasmine. Jasmine's on. Give me a like or something. Give me a thumbs up or whatever if you saw Iron Fist, any episode, half of an episode, or if you binge the whole thing like Eric did.
Oh yeah, same day it came out. Oh my gosh.
That was insanity.
I love it. I love it. And then somebody who was watching it with me really hates it, so I'm hoping she comments about it. Hoping she says something like, "Yeah, it was stupid. I can't believe I sat through 4 hours of it."
4 hours of a.
She sat through 4 hours. I sat through the whole thing.
Oh.
It's like 7 hours long.
Oh my gosh. And then finally this might happen first. We're going to talk about Ben Carson screwing up on the news again.
Her comments, worst day of her life.
Who?
About Iron Fist.
Who's?
Jessica. She said worst day of her life.
Worst day of her life?
Yeah.
I wouldn't disagree with her. Never mind.
We can't do spoilers. I won't do spoilers.
What's that?
When we get to Iron Fist, no spoilers.
No spoiler. Well,
got
my
no
God,
spoiler
I didn't even
request.
think of that.
Yeah.
Hey, give me a thumbs up if you don't want us to spoil Iron Fist, the Netflix show.
Iron Fist.
Okay, I gotta see the thumbs up if you do not want to hear spoilers. Eric, I'm not seeing any thumbs up.
I'm seeing like a like already. I'm not sure. She doesn't really care if it's spoiled. She's seen the whole thing. Yeah, no spoilers. It's generally accepted. No spoilers. All right. So what were you on? Your last item of your agenda?
Ben Carson putting his foot in his mouth,
Oh man, that guy likes leather sole.
foot to mouth.
Yeah.
Once again, foot to mouth.
Tasty
All right.
sneaker.
All right, let me get up in on this Fauci book here. Okay. All right, so let's just get right down to Ben Carson. And I swear, guys, I had this up.
I got it up.
You got it up? Thank you. Eric saves me every time. Eric, can you please tell the court? Hold on.
Wait. Are
Can
we
you-
pulling in the gavel?
can you
Wait,
please-
okay, I don't have it up. Never mind.
You lied to me, man.
I'm sorry.
All right, well, Eric's getting it up. I'm getting my gavel ready to hold court on Ben Carson. Once again, he failed last week. He's going to fail this week.
I fail all the time.
No, not you, Ben Carson.
Ben Carson.
Total disclosure, whatever. I don't hate Ben Carson. I just think he says the wrong things. Okay? And you know me, I'm not into like PC. I'm not a PC guy. I'd rather keep the PC out of almost everything. Be real, right? The problem is he's a politician now. I know he doesn't come from that, but he's a politician now. You can't just say whatever you think. You have to you got to think about people and how they're going to react, because now all the good that Ben could have fooled me. Thanks, Jazz. Jazz.
When was the statement? Because the family statement looks like it was like last year.
Oh, it was a last year statement
or early this year, like
Seriously?
January. Yeah, it was a couple months ago.
Oh, well, this might be old news.
Yeah, it might be.
Well, let's just say it anyway. Let's talk about it anyway, just a little bit.
Okay.
Well, okay. So what do you say?
What safety nets? No, he was talking about something else.
See, this is
See
what
the quote that you're talking about. I think it's from the campaign back in 2015.
Did he get in trouble for that? I
Yeah,
don't
he
even
got
remember.
reamed for that one.
He got reamed for that one.
Kids of single parents get on welfare become criminals. That was from October 2015, dude.
You know what I'm going to start calling that dude?
What's that?
I'm going to start calling him Teflon Ben.
Teflon Ben.
Teflon Ben.
I should have called him Teflon Trump.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's where he's at now.
I feel like Ben Carson makes so many faux pas.
And he just keeps on trucking.
Yeah, like it's like people forget. Like you remember that thing in what's that? Oh, Men in Black.
Oh yeah, the neuralizer.
Yeah, the neuralizer.
Don't flashy thing me. Don't flashy thing.
I feel like he says something stupid, and then all of a sudden, just the whole. I never said that.
And everybody goes with it.
Yeah, maybe he just has such an honest face or something. You know what I mean? Like little voice, like that guy. He didn't mean it. He's a nice guy. There's no way he meant it.
Oh man. So here's what he said back in.
He's so sweet.
Do you want to hear the quote? He
Yeah, I wanna hear
said,
the quote.
"We need to face the fact that when young girls have babies out of wedlock, most of their time education ends with that first baby." He continued, "And those babies are 4 times as likely to grow up in poverty, end up in the penal system, or on the welfare." Who calls it the welfare? No, he said the welfare system. Okay, and then he said, "I'm not making this stuff up. That's well documented. That's a problem." So
I don't take issue with anything he just said there.
yeah, it's about a matter of motivation, right? Like we get that.
Yeah.
Single parenting is not easy for anybody who's a single parent. But that doesn't mean you should just, shack up or get hitched to the first swinging Richard that comes along.
Well said.
Well
Said. Yeah. Okay, so okay, so the thing that I don't have it pulled up. It was on my phone, but now I'm using it for Facebook Live, but
it was taken as very divisive.
he was saying that, okay, I'm going to paraphrase. Sorry. I'm going to paraphrase.
Go for it.
He goes I can't even paraphrase. It's so odd.
Yeah, I can't remember.
What
I
did he
haven't seen
say?
that. I don't remember the quote.
All
I
right,
haven't
wait a
seen
minute,
it.
wait a
The
minute.
only quote I've seen is from 2015.
All right, you know what? I'm just going to have to pull it up. Ben Carson, single parent. All right, single parent criminals. I think that was the gist.
Yeah, the only thing I got is from
I got it.
Really?
Everybody, I got it. Who's on here? Woody, what's up, man? Welcome back, Wood. My man, Woody Van Horn. That's one of my brothers in arms. Back in the military days. Remember that, Woody? Boy, those were fun, weren't they? No, they weren't. Sometimes, man, we had a good time. Wait, where was it? It was God, I can't remember if he was on my first or second command. I think my first command.
Do you see dates on your Google search?
Huh?
Do you see dates on your Google search?
Yeah, this says October 8th, 2015. Bollocks!
Told ya.
Bollocks! Why would Facebook lie to me? They made it seem like it was today.
Facebook is the new church, dude.
Face.
Oh, I snuck that one in. That was good, right?
Stan Roddy, you see why you need to come on this show? Do you see? You hear what he just said? You need to come on this. You need to
Forgive me, Facebook, for I have sinned.
for he has sinned. You need to educate this
Facebook
dude.
confession.
I'm trying my best, Stan, but he's a tough nut to crack over here.
It's
all right.
because I'm too nutty.
He's nutty. Ben Carson said children raised by single parents end up poor and become criminals. Okay. He probably did. That was not the end all be all of that statement, I'm sure.
What did we say before the show? That he has the worst way of phrasing the best of intentions?
The best of intentions, but the worst way of actually putting it.
Yeah.
Sound bites galore, But, okay. So I was raised by a single mom since 12 years old, all right? So I'm not a good example for this, right?
Oh,
I
boy.
might be a bad example for this. I might be making his point. No. They end up poor and become criminals. So, just coming from my background, you got I don't know if you guys know, but anthropology, sociology, behavioral science.
And he's a very bad criminal.
And I'm a bad criminal apparently. I'm poor and I am a criminal.
No, I mean you're bad at being a criminal.
Oh, I'm a terrible criminal.
Yeah.
I just can't seem to do it right. But coming from that space, right? From just studying the social side of things, right? I look at socioeconomics as being basically that's like your arrow that points to kind of a person's where they could go, right?
Okay.
Now, if you look at some people that grew up maybe in the inner city, maybe live in grew up in the poor South, another country that's like completely, destitute or third world.
No opportunity.
No opportunity, right? You don't have the opportunities that, say, somebody who grew up in a nice environment with schooling and, parents that are around them and, or at least, they say it takes a village to raise a kid. A lot of times there's villages that naturally kind of come around kids, There's coaches on sports teams or, what have you, right? There's lots of examples of sort of that support structure. And I feel like, the single parent thing is not the sole or even a strong indicator of whether or not a child is going to grow up to continue being poor or to continue, or to start a life of crime.
I got you.
So-
I agree.
Oh, you agree? Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I
Well,
think that
this is going to be a boring podcast.
I think that access to resources is like the number one thing that tends to lead people to crime. When somebody has to choose between should I mug somebody or should I get a job that actually pays me what I'm worth. When they have to choose between, slinging dope or, doing a 9-to-5 that pays pennies. I mean, you got to really think about the mentality that is there.
Yeah.
And then there's the lack of resources for the mom, right? Like if the kid's going to be left alone for lengths of time and available for people to exploit, when the mom's not available to take care of them. I mean, you're just that's or the mom, not the mom, just the dad. Like maybe the dad's got a job and he can't afford to pay for a babysitter or a daycare.
That's actually
mean,
actually a good point.
Those kinds of situations lend themselves to kids being exploited by criminal elements. Like, oh, I got a 10-year-old I can put on the corner. He could hold my drugs for me. He gets arrested. He's not doing any time.
Okay.
Or whatever. I mean, those sorts of situations, they just naturally occur.
And not to mention, look at our sort of like what is driving a lot of the youth culture today. You look at like a lot of the media, right?
Yeah.
And they like to demonize hip hop and stuff, and I would totally demonize hip hop because not only is it a lot of bad messaging, but it also sucks, real bad.
A lot of modern hip hop is terrible.
It's terrible. I mean,
it's like magic, dude. There's people who use it for good and people who use it for bad.
Well, and so if you grow up, right, and I mean, you look at all these kids these kids of privilege that grow up in areas, but they're listening and watching sort of these examples of like how they should be, and it's nothing. It you know, get into fights, sell drugs, dope, whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how you're. That's how you be a man.
That's how you be a. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
how you be a man. And then, God forbid the or I guess for you, Hawking's forbid that you know,
You could say heaven forbid.
the women or excuse me, the girls that are growing up in that culture. I mean, what do they have to aspire to? Honestly,
That I don't know. I can't. I can't presume to know the mind of a girl who's dealing with that situation. I can maybe guess.
yeah,
I can only guess that her only hope is like, I better find me a really good man, or I better find me a really good job.
that's prevalent. By the way,
Or
that's
better yet, well, I need to find both.
that's prevalent. That is super prevalent. I mean, look at look, I don't even. How many young women out there go? I need my looks, and my maybe like, you know, the whole, what is it,
What's that?
like the American Idol, Who's Got
Oh
Talent,
yeah,
all
yeah.
that stuff.
They got the pop culture, keeping up with the pop culture BS.
I mean, yeah, or they start a podcast,
Yeah, I don't do that. Trying to be shot callers.
trying to be famous.
So my sister's in a similar situation. She decided instead of trying to like get a man and get pregnant and have kids and
Yeah.
get hitched up or whatever, she decided I'm gonna just work my tail off and get like 3-4 jobs. She works like 4 jobs to live on her own. And then she
Wow.
met a really nice guy that's, you know, treating her right. So,
Wow.
I mean, that was her situation. She didn't have a lot of options, not a lot of resources.
Yeah, but she took sort of, I guess, what we would call a higher ground, and she worked her butt off, like you said.
Yeah, but she doesn't qualify because she wasn't raised by like a single mom.
Uh,
Like single parent, I should say.
yeah, Jasmine says it depends on the community around you. Children, though, I don't understand the children though part. So if you could clarify, but
It might be longer.
wait, it depends on the community around your children, though. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. The community, right? What are your
Yeah.
kids? What do you? There's a saying like in the entrepreneur world that I think it was Zig Ziglar. I could be wrong, but Zig Ziglar says you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Pretty accurate.
It's pretty accurate. If you can sit there and imagine 5 people right now that you spend the most time with, that you live life with, and all that wherever they are in life, whatever they believe, you're probably going to be going in that direction as well. That's why, like in those entrepreneur circles, they say, make sure that you have lots of mentors and have those mentors be the people you hang out with. People that you want to become like, be around those people. So
Bob Ross, Mr. Rogers,
they're dead.
Bill Nye.
They're dead.
Well, we're all gonna be dead eventually.
You can't hang around ghosts.
When I was younger, though, that's what I'm saying.
When you were younger, those are your
Yeah.
heroes. Won't you be my neighbor?
Hi, neighbor.
Elise Harrington joined. Thank you, Elise. Thanks for joining up. I hope you enjoy your time here in the Righteous Anger podcast.
Welcome.
If you have any suggestions on how to not make this show suck, we will gladly take them. Drew. Hey, Drew, what's going on? Look at that. Yeah.
There's another side of the story too. Like,
What's the other side of the story?
Like people who are on the fringes, people who are like raising kids alone, single. If they ask for help, they're usually exploited.
Oh, please do tell.
Yeah, like people who are on their own and they're trying to raise their kid, and they ask for help from people. A lot of people will just be like, "Well, yeah, I'll help you out, but give me some money."
I'll give you a perfect example of that.
Like
I saw it in the military. I'm seeing it a lot now. These payday loan places.
Yeah, talk about exploitation.
There's no reason that these payday loan places should be legal.
There's a word for this in the Bible.
What?
Usury.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Money lenders.
Money lenders. There you go. Yeah. Taking advantage of people that are
That's usury.
Yeah, that are poor, and they have no other options, or at least they feel like they don't have any other options. You know. That's actually kind of another thing, and you know, I can get reamed for this or not, maybe, but actually, it's not even my opinion. But I agree with it that poor is not simply a situation, but it's a state of mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you look at people that have been like raised in the harshest, worst situations in life, had nothing to propel them, but they just didn't have that mentality of, well, I'm always going to be.
This is my life.
This is my life. I guess I'll just keep rocking like this, you know? There's people that they want more so that they figure out. And it's not the question of, you know, why is this happening to me? It's how do I get myself out of this situation?
That's a good mentality to have.
Yeah.
Instead of accepting the problem, figuring out ways to solve it.
Right, exactly. And I think everybody that's got a brain in their heads, I mean, you know, like a functioning brain in their heads, even if they're not able-bodied, because how many times do I post stuff? It's like some armless person doing push-ups. It's amazing, like doing pull-ups, doing CrossFit. You know, I just did a young lady out of Britain. No, she was born without limbs, and she's deadlifting more than I can. You know what I mean? She's doing snatches and squats and all this stuff, and she's got no limbs. But you know what? They made like
prosthetics,
prosthetic-y, but not even professional prosthetics. It was like in a it looked like it was like made. She went to Home Depot. Somebody went to Home Depot with her. It was like, all right, I'm gonna need some chains, gonna need some straps. You know, somebody went into like a garage,
and then there was a cut scene where they were just like,
yeah, exactly. And then next thing you know, she's got this contraption, and now she's like, all right, personal record, 350 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
No arms, no legs. What can you say?
There are plenty of disabled people in better shape than me, is all I have to say.
Both of us. Both of us.
And I applaud their effort and their amazing physical feats.
There's an armless man right now, maybe watching this, that can beat both of us in an arm wrestling contest.
Probably.
He has no arm.
Yep.
And he can kill us.
Yep.
Sad. Hip-hop. Oh, hello. Oh, okay.
Got a hip-hop head in the house?
Hip-hop head in the house. All right, Mr. Lazar. Hip-hop now is meaningless and is about...
Hip-hop is forever.
Nothing unlike when it first came out. True.
Well, when was that, though? Like, because that's a hip-hop head question. When did hip-hop, like, first exist? Some people say, well, you know, the mid-'80s, you know, they were b-boys and they were dancing and they needed a beat to... Nah, it started in the 70s, man. Hip-hop is from the 70s.
All right.
Late 70s.
All right.
You know the story. You watch The Get Down. Go watch The Get Down.
Go watch The Get Down. You know what happened to that show, man? Are they coming out with more?
Second season, I think they're in production now, I want to say.
That's a cool show.
Yeah, great cast.
Ben says 1976.
See, that's how you know a true hip-hop head.
Yeah, Ben, wow. I didn't know that you were into the hippity-hoppity hoop.
All of hip-hop owes its existence to a blackout. How about that? A blackout in New York City?
From the show, yeah. Hold on a second. Jasmine says, don't tell me what to do, what I can't do. Taken to the extreme. Very inspirational.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if she's being sarcastic or not. Very inspirational, like exclamation mark.
It's John Locke. It's John Locke from Lost.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, don't tell me what I can't do.
Don't tell me what I can't do. That's right.
I can go on a walkabout even if I'm in a wheelchair.
In a wheelchair. I'm going on a wheelabout right now. It's happening.
It's happening.
Jasmine's LOLing. I think she was sarcastic. I don't know. She's a fun one. Jasmine, were you being sarcastic? I need to know. Tap 1 for yes and 2 for no. I'm waiting.
I think that's why empathy is so important, though, Eric.
Empathy.
Yeah, I got a comment. There's some people who have a bad attitude. There's others that have the deck stacked against them from the start. So that's why empathy is so important. Like, I don't know this person's circumstances. I'm going to give them a chance, and they burn me. I'm going to give them one more chance, and then they're done.
Now, what is that exactly relating to?
The whole, what is he saying? People who are poor because they don't get opportunities.
Jasmine says, no, she wasn't. She was being real.
Oh.
Thank you, Jasmine. I think hopefully it's something that is inspirational that, no matter what situation you're in right now, wherever you want to be, just get there. There's always a way. You just have to ask yourself, well, how do I do it? Make a plan.
What am I willing to do?
What am I willing to do? That's not, see, that goes back to those young ladies and young men who are selling dope and drugs and stuff. Oh, what do I need to do? No, I
just gotta sell some of these rocks.
I sell some of these rocks and I'll be rich.
I get the rent.
I'm rich. Hey, by the way, speaking of
Yeah,
Rich,
that's up next.
Dave Chappelle just dropped 2 Netflix specials. 2, not 1, 2 Netflix specials. So check him out. I know you're excited. Krista just joined. What's up, Krista? Hello. Hello, sis.
Hi, Krista.
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 Mein Krista. Yeah, so where were we?
Chappelle Show.
Chappelle Show.
Chappelle Show.
Chappelle Show. You know what that dude is doing? If you watch some of his stuff, okay, like the recent stuff, because they've been following him on the news, he is currently, he's got a juke joint.
It was 3.
It was supposed to be 3, but it's 2 right now. Talking
Yeah,
about how many?
he's producing the 3rd one now.
He's producing the 3rd, so it's going to be 3.
$60 million.
$60 million. Now,
For 3 performances.
he made a joke. He made a joke about that. In a crowd, he goes, that's right. I left $50 million on the table, and then I came back and made $60 million for less work. How awesome is that? Dave Chappelle, look.
Make a season of television, do 3 specials.
Do 3 specials.
Season of television, 3 specials.
$10 million more for way less work. Let me think about that.
Huh.
No, that guy's living the life. He's out there in a
He's cut.
on a ranch.
You seen him lately?
Well, I think he's getting fat though now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was cut, and he's just looking like kind of portly. He's getting pudgy, but that's fine.
Hey, round is a shape.
You know what he said? He said the reason why he was so skinny for all during Chappelle shows because he was stressed out.
Really?
That wasn't his natural.
That makes sense.
Elise, just watched them last night. Oh, I hate you, Elise. Gosh, Elise is always. I know
on it.
she's my best girlfriend, and she seriously she told us about
What's up?
what's that the Mockingjay Hunger Games.
Yeah, what about it?
Dude, she was on that before it even became a thing.
Really?
Yeah, she was like, dude, check this out.
She's a bookworm.
Big, yeah. She stays
Right on.
she stays in those books.
My peoples.
My peoples.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a great artist too. I'm trying to get her to do some art for us. Okay, that was the last one.
We like bookworms.
Yeah, so Dave Chappelle, I'm really excited about. I'm happy that he's back, and I'm happy that he's healthy, and he's hanging out with his kids, and his wife, and that's important. Family's important to him. He does the community thing, like the juke joint.
Nice.
Out there in Connecticut, he actually has a building dedicated to, I guess, like a weekly thing where the whole town comes together and has a party.
Huh.
Apparently, a juke joint.
Weekly block party?
No, juke joint.
So he's got a little spot
It's a building.
that he just throws a party in every week.
Yeah, and it looks like a hoedown's going on. Like there's
Wow.
It looks like CMT is putting it on, Country Music Television. And
Wow.
there's Dave Chappelle with the whole town. I mean, and he's walking up to dudes like in 10-gallon hats, like,
How you doing?
hey partner, like that.
Wow.
They're all and they all treat him like a normal person apparently. Like
Yeah, because he's Dave Chappelle. Everybody loves Dave Chappelle.
no, like a normal person.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like he's not like a celebrity.
They don't treat him like a celebrity there.
Well, I'll see Dave next week at the hoedown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know he's like walking up to dudes like, hey man, how's your brother doing? Is he still in the hospital? And like it's Mayberry. Dave found Mayberry.
I'm pretty sure he's got things worked out. He found the answers.
What are you talking about?
Like he made comedy, made money, then decided, you know what? I'm just gonna have a nice chill spot. Everybody could come visit once a week.
Dave has always been about community.
He's got it figured out, man.
He brought the roots back.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. Before Jimmy Kimmel, Dave Chappelle brought what's his name?
I don't know. Go for it. Explain this.
The drummer from the Roots, Questlove. He brought
Okay.
Questlove in. He brought in oh man, see, okay.
One of the Murphys.
Brought in Charlie Murphy, but no. Mos Def brought him in.
Mos Def was big, dude.
Yeah, exactly, was big. But I'm telling you what, if it wasn't for the Chappelle Show, that dude got a resurgence in his career thanks to
way.
that. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
I mean, come on now.
Because he did that movie with Bruce Willis. What was it, like the Blocks movie where he had to be transported? He was a witness or something. You remember that?
Dude? Is that ever good? Really?
That was actually a pretty good movie, I thought.
Is it ever good when a rapper is in a
film?
movie? A film?
A film?
Rappers don't do films.
I'm trying to think of a rapper film that was actually good.
50 Cent wasn't bad.
Belly was
get
alright.
rich.
Did you see Belly?
It was okay. It was okay. But anything DMX is in, by the way, is pretty much
Is
garbage.
that Cradle to the Grave?
Yeah, just garbage.
Yeah.
No. It's funny, man. They spend so much time being gangsters, like in real life or on the thing, and then they get on the screen to be a gangster, and it's like, nah.
It's hard to portray it properly, isn't it? Anyway, what's up on our Chappelle show stuff?
Oh, Lisa's talking about the Ice Cube. Yeah, Ice. Oh, perfect example.
There
Okay,
you
the
go.
Ice Cube. Ice Cube is funny because he, like, seriously, never gave up his gangster card.
He never did.
But then he does children's movies, kids movies.
I don't think he can give in that card.
Is it
I
impossible
don't
at this
think
point?
so. I mean, you see him and it's like, oh, okay.
You want to hear some blasphemy?
Yeah. Go for it.
I never saw Straight Outta Compton.
Oh, dear.
I know. I never saw it.
Yeah, you better get on that.
And I wasn't excited about it because I'd read somewhere, somebody was like, this isn't the real story. They left everything out about Suge Knight and all that stuff.
Oh, they didn't have... okay, well... I guess. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
There was no scene where he got the crap kicked out of him.
You got to have Suge Knight in the story of that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that was later, but whatever.
Yeah.
As
Whatever.
long as they're talking about Eazy-E, that's really the most important thing.
Got a new joiner.
Mr. David Harris. Hello, David Harris. Are you ready? Are you ready for some anger? I don't know. We haven't been very angry today. I mean,
It's a chill day.
We
We
didn't
got
re-
beer. We got
the beers. Let's cheers our beers.
not over the...
Cheers the beers. Prost. Prost.
Let's launch.
Hookah and beer. It doesn't get better. Much better than that. All right. Let's talk about...
Next up topic.
We're going to have to buzz through this because we could talk here literally for like 5 hours. We almost did the first podcast. All right. Let's talk about Iron Fist since we're on a whole
Yeah.
thing. Dude, did you really like Iron Fist?
No.
Okay. Thank God. Oh,
It was...
I was worried about you for a second there.
So, going from Daredevil to Jessica Jones to Luke Cage and then this, it just felt like the pacing was all wrong. What's up?
Oh, wait. Before we go into that, Elise was talking about Straight Outta Compton. She said Suge is in there, and it moves fast. I think,
Yeah.
okay, maybe that's...
Unless you know who's who, it's probably tough to keep up.
Oh, I see. Okay. You know what, Elise, how about this? We come out to your hood, and we're going to watch it. All right?
Hey, there's a plan.
You, me, Don, Tanya, the kids, we'll watch it all together.
Pop some popcorn.
Yeah. I'll get Kira the straight out of VA.
Oh, dear.
Straight out of VA. That's not hood, is it?
Not hood enough.
Not even a bit.
A little bit.
All right, I'm not hood. I just play one on TV. How about you go ahead and continue your conversation?
Hey, I'm not going to continue talking. You've seen the first episode. What'd you think? You saw the first episode, right?
I think this is what I said. I said this on Twitter.
Okay, go for it.
I said, in a very sarcastic way, I'm not sure if people got my sarcasm or not. What?
I was just saying what's up to my cuz,
What's up, cousin?
Will.
What's up, primo? Primo. Mi primo, ¿cómo estás?
He's going to crack up when he hears this.
Huh? I'd say orale, but that's like a Mexican thing.
It's a little...
Yeah, I don't know. What do you Puerto Ricans say?
I wouldn't know.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, because I'm like a coconut, you know?
Primo Will, do you know what Puerto Ricans say? They don't say orale. What do they say?
I have no idea.
¿Qué onda? ¿Qué tal? All right.
Something like that.
All right, that's enough Spanish for me.
So your first episode analysis.
So my tweet
tweet.
my tweet was this. Wow.
He's cracking up.
Wow.
Wow.
Iron Fist has got to be one of the greatest student films ever made.
This has great potential.
Potential.
You could flip this into a TV series, you know that, right?
Netflix.
Wepa, that's what we say. Wepa.
Wepa.
No, wepa.
Wepa?
Yeah, like wepa.
Wepa. What does that mean?
Like wow, that happened.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Kind of.
I like Mexican better.
Yeah.
Orale.
Yeah.
Orale ese. That's more fun to say. Wepa. That sounds too nice. I want a little.
We're friendly.
It
Puerto
is-
Ricans are friendly.
Puerto Ricans
We're
are-
islanders. We like to dance.
I
and,
do love you
know,
guys. I do love
Drink
you guys.
rum.
Yeah, so if you watch Iron Fist, okay, and some of you guys on there are Iron Fist people, A Puerto Rican coconut. What's a coconut?
Brown on the outside, white on the inside.
Oh yeah. Same thing as a
Twinkie.
like a Twinkie or an Oreo for a black person.
Or an egg.
Or an egg. Oh, that's new.
Yeah.
So-
White on the outside, yellow on the inside.
Yellow on the inside. I like that.
Yeah.
That's kind of not perfectly accurate though. I only like to use
Yeah.
I only like to use what do you call those? That's not a slur.
It's a metaphor. It's an analogy. I don't know.
All right,
It's kind of like a thing.
All
It's a
right.
description.
all right.
What are you?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I'm asking.
What am I? Learn something new every day. There you go, Jazz.
Wrinkled
now,
your brain.
So now all your Puerto Rican coconuts, now you got a name for them.
Oh, there's also marshmallows.
Marshmallow. White on the outside, white on the inside.
Oh, I'm dying.
That's so stupid.
That's so great, though.
That's just you're blowing us out.
No, I'm sorry.
That is so stupid. Who said that?
Jessica said it. She
I
said
love-
she's a marshmallow.
Jess.
She's fluffy and sweet.
Jess is
That's
hilarious.
great.
I love Jess with the passion of 17 million suns.
Oh, that's fantastic.
All right, so yeah,
Yeah, it's
the,
a student film, right?
the problem with Iron Fist, right, is that you had all this production money sunk into this thing. They're shooting in what I believe to be Manhattan, so there's all the permits, all that. I mean, everything.
Yeah,
that goes into it.
downtown.
Downtown. I mean, they're shutting streets down. They're doing the whole nine, and the actors and the writing and the plot structure and everything sucks. You just sunk millions of dollars.
Give it to me.
Oh my gosh, you could
Give it to me and you, and we could make a better Iron Fist.
easily
Like
could have made a better.
that.
Like
Yeah.
I know an actor right now who's never acted in anything except for like a student thing,
He could do better.
and he could have done a better job than what's his name?
Yeah, it wasn't that great.
Oh, and what about the brother sister thing?
That got creepier as
That
it
was-
goes on.
that
It
was-
gets creepier as it goes on.
That was creepy, weird. The guy's delivery, the brother, the creepy brother guy,
You know,
his delivery, man.
I don't want to spoil it for you or for anybody else listening,
I
but
honestly don't care.
if
one
you,
bit.
did you watch Stranger Things?
Yes.
You know, like the dude boyfriend of the girl, the
Yeah.
kind of a douche.
Yeah.
You know how his character has like this really great transformation throughout the whole series? How he goes from like this smarmy, I want to make out with this girl in the bathroom, I'm not supposed to be doing this,
To trying to save her.
to
in the
being
end.
like this hero dude who's
Yeah.
really cool, and then you're kind of conflicted about how you feel about him.
Yeah.
The girl in the girl's brother in Iron Fist has the same kind of story arc. He has this like, I hate the world, I hate everybody. At first you think, oh gosh, this guy's a douche. But then as the story goes on, you realize, wow, he has really suffered. His father has put him through literal hell. And
And you do get
you get sympathetic to the character.
You
You're like,
do.
wow, this guy's really suffered.
yeah, you do get to meet like his father and
And his father's been a total like bastard to him his whole life.
well, his father's like a sociopath. Right?
Yeah. And then at the end of it, at the first season, I guess, I don't know if they're going to make another one, but at the end of it, you get this impression that that he has really changed as a character. Like, he's no longer taking it out on the world for the pain that he's in. And he's no longer burdened by protecting his sister. And you'll get what that means if you watch the whole series.
Yeah, but does his acting get better?
Yes.
Are
His
you kidding
acting
me?
is fantastic. He is the saving grace of the whole show, in my opinion.
The brother.
Yeah, he's like the only guy whose acting saved the whole show.
Okay, you do.
And the other actor that saved it is the woman who plays Madame Gao. Like, they're kind of like the saving grace for the show.
'Cause you
And
do-
the villain's awesome.
Okay, all right. I'll keep
So
watching.
the villain is
Fine,
pretty cool too.
Fine. I'll keep watching.
Yeah.
Didn't you just say it sucked?
No. I mean, the parts that sucked are like the hero sucks, the love interest sucks, the story arc is nowhere. It's a flat story arc. It goes nowhere.
Well, what about the martial arts?
There's
Is
no
the
there's no character development on the protagonist side, and I didn't like that.
Okay, I saw some clips on the fighting. Was not impressed because when I watched.
Watch more. It gets better.
Okay, but do you know what threw me for a loop?
What's that?
And you know I've done fight choreography for movie.
Okay.
Okay, I know how hard that is to get it to look right and all that. When I watched Daredevil, that scene in the hallway against the Russian
Yeah.
mobsters, was phenomenal.
They try to do like an homage to that. in this series. It's like in the third or fourth episode. Not as well executed, in my opinion. They also did like an homage to Jackie Chan in it.
Oh.
You
So he's
know when he
like
goes
he's
against,
climbing and stuff.
kind of. You know when he goes against, you know when Jackie Chan goes against the 99X gang.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So they kind of
yeah.
do an homage against that,
That's
where
cool.
he's like fighting these dudes who are pouring in with axes, and he, does his thing.
Takes them all out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was never like a big Iron Fist guy. You know.
This is not a very interesting comic, to be perfectly honest.
It's not. It's so B.
It was a pretty obvious ripoff of like a couple other heroes that are
Yeah.
DC properties. Like there's a lot of influence from Batman. There's a lot of influence from Arrow. There's a lot of influence from, what was the other character? There was another one. It's one of their own ripoffs. It's a lot like Daredevil, to be honest.
It's a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And let me tell you, the actor that plays Daredevil. You know his name?
No.
That guy.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's the saving grace of the Netflix TV series line right now. It's Daredevil.
What they did with Daredevil, I didn't think was possible. After what Ben Affleck did to Daredevil,
Oh, don't knock the fleck.
do you remember Daredevil?
Yeah, it was pretty terrible.
Come on,
You had
man.
what was the Bullseye dude? Wasn't that Colin Farrell? Who
Yes.
played the Bullseye
Yeah,
guy?
yeah,
That was the worst part of the whole movie.
You know what? I'm so glad his career is just about done, by the way.
Michael Clark Duncan being cast as Kingpin.
Kingpin.
That was fantastic. I thought that was the best casting of that character ever.
Kingpin's white.
Doesn't matter.
Kingpin is white.
He got the character right.
Kingpin is a marshmallow.
No, he's not. He's muscle. Like, it's a big misconception about Kingpin that he's fat. He's supposed to be solid muscle.
Excuse me. According to my comic book research,
Which comic books did you read?
I read all of Punisher.
Did you read the Amazing Spider-Man?
I did read Never Was Black. He was never black in
No, he
Amazing
wasn't
Spider-Man.
black, but he was muscle. He was cool.
You know what? I'm gonna steal something from
We haven't discussed Logan.
I have nothing to say about
Me neither.
Logan. I didn't even see it. Did you see it?
I haven't either.
We haven't seen it. I'm sorry. We haven't seen
We'll
Logan.
discuss Logan eventually, and that
We'll watch Logan. We'll hold hands. We'll share the same popcorn.
Yeah.
And we'll check it out for sure. I heard that it was people cried at Logan. Apparently it was that
very
good.
emotional.
People were like thanking what's the dude's name?
Hugh
Jackman.
Huge Ackman.
They were thanking him like on Facebook, like, thank you, Hugh Jackman, for being being Wolverine all these years, like tearful, like soppy.
Seriously?
People were like going ape on
Oh man.
how much they love. And apparently Hugh Jackman is the only guy to play a superhero character that long. Like nobody has reprised that role for so long.
Interesting.
Yeah. I never was mad at it, even though technically Wolverine is like 4'2" and Harry
We talked about this. He's 5'3".
5'3". He's shorter than I am, which is amazing, and he's like hairy and disgusting, and he's not a good-looking character. But
It's Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito, muscular.
He's 5'3".
Danny DeVito's 5'3".
No. Wolverine's supposed to be 5'3". Hugh Jackman is 6'3".
I know.
He's a foot taller than he's supposed to be.
He's delicious. There's no reason he should be Wolverine.
Yeah, he's a
I mean,
moneymaker, though.
If you're being, but no, it's genius that they went with Hugh Jackman.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's no way Danny DeVito or a Danny DeVito character could ever nope. People would look at him and go, oh, really, Claus?
Yeah.
That guy? No.
Yeah, nah.
All right, whatever. Yeah. Plus the girls need something to look at, right?
Yeah, I like that is what he brings money to the franchise, right? He gets the ladies to come to the movies and, ooh, Wolverine. Is he going to tear his shirt off and kill people? Yes.
Oh.
That's cool that's what they brought to the franchises. I'm just disappointed. Flip it over. Flip it over.
Such a purist.
No, because you're going to be inhaling like carbon dioxide and stuff. Give you a headache.
Thank you for looking out for me. I feel your
Yeah,
love.
Wolverine in the comics was really short for those commenters out there.
Yeah.
He was 5'3".
All right. Let's transition. What time is it? We're at 9:30. Let's transition. I don't know if you guys are sick of the comic book talk. We never are, so we kind of have to rein ourselves in.
Yeah,
But
let's roll.
let's talk about London today. So as you guys probably know,
shoot.
oh, wait a minute.
Casting choice: Mike Rowe could have played Wolverine.
What?
That would have been actually pretty funny.
Mike Rowe.
Yeah.
Dirty jobs
Yeah.
as Wolverine.
Think about it for a second.
Eat buttocks.
Okay.
No.
He's short enough. And he's got the gravelly voice.
Mike Rowe doesn't have a gravelly voice.
Doesn't he?
No.
Oh, okay. Then he doesn't have the right voice.
Mike Rowe looks and talks like an accountant. Like he could be literally a CPA.
Put him in a suit and he's...
He could work at H&R Block.
Oh, nice.
That's the guy's look. I mean, that's why he's hilarious when he does all these jobs. You're like, that guy doesn't belong in there.
Where's that guy's blazer?
Jasmine says, we need a quote wall somewhere. The first one up will be yours. He's delicious, referring to Hugh Jackman.
I agree. I like her. She needs to be on the show.
Jasmine, you want to be on the show?
she needs to get her own spot, like quotes by Leo.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, no, he's just what?
He's delicious.
Let me tell you, I'm happily married for over 10 years. Guess what? I can be as gay as I want to be.
Yeah.
As gay as I want to be.
You'd be out on the lawn in Daisy Dukes waving at Hugh Jackman. Hey, delicious.
I do that anyway. Hugh Jackman doesn't have to be there, man. I got about 4 days worth of Daisy Dukes. 4 days.
Oh man.
And if you wear them inside out, that's 8 days. My math is good. I got good math.
So you go back, then you go front.
Go back and front.
Then you go inside out, then you go back.
Because I like the look of my pockets when you can see the pockets in my Daisy Dukes with the fringe.
Nice.
Should I stop now?
Yeah, I should stop there. We should move on.
Anywho.
We're getting a poster, though, that says he's delicious. Quote Leo.
Quote Leo, just me next
referring
to it.
To Hugh Jackman. It's a picture of Hugh Jackman.
Me smiling next to it. All right, so London terrorism, as we all know today.
Oh, boy.
London was hit by, I guess they're calling it a terrorist attack.
It was a terrorist attack.
Okay, so did anybody take
I don't know if anybody claimed credit for it, but we can check the live feed on just about anything right now.
All right, yeah, go check that out for a second.
Why don't you give them the rundown on the story when you come back? So, some rando dude decided, hey, maybe I should shoot up Parliament.
Some Rambo?
Rando.
Oh, random guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a confirmed 2 deaths already.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, one of them was a lady, I think, who got ran over by a car, and then the police officer, I guess, that got stabbed.
Yeah.
I think those are the deaths. So far.
Details. Let's see right now. The news is of an hour ago. And let's see what it says. Westminster Bridge. 5 people died in all, including the attacker himself. Worst terrorist incident to hit the UK since 7 July. Bombings in 2005. So was that 12 year?
2005 to now?
Yeah, 12. Well, 11-ish. It's the worst incident since 2005 of terrorism in England.
In England?
Yeah.
Okay.
He drove on the bridge, ran onto the pavement, tried to run over people, mowed down more than a dozen tourists, local workers, and police officers before crashing into Parliament's railings. Everybody dove and tried to hide, or a couple people probably ended up in the Thames.
That's the river, for those of you who don't know.
It's the bridge I think that bridge goes over the Thames. I could be wrong. I don't know.
The River Thames.
So 2:40. What time is it now? 9:30. It happened exactly 7 hours ago. 7 hours ago. That's why I was kind of cautious about talking about it, because the details could be like wildly misreported in the first 24 hours.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's bad. You see the pictures from the incident. You see like British SWAT guys like pointing a rifle at the dude on the ground, making sure he's down and not moving. And
the terrorist?
The attacker, yeah. I don't even think they've released the name or the nationality of the guy yet.
Do you think he's Islamic?
I don't know. They say a black-clad assailant armed with 2 long knives. He could be freaking Wade Wilson right now, for all we know. Could be.
I thought a police officer got shot. There was no guns?
Police officer was stabbed to death.
That's insanity.
So he didn't even use a gun.
That's insanity. I mean, I guess you don't really need to.
He killed people with a car and then stopped and then stabbed a police officer to death.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty messed up.
You know, like you know what I think to myself immediately? I go, what would I have done? You know, I'm in the middle of that crowd.
Middle-aged Asian man. And he attacked the officer on foot with a 7 to 8 inch knife.
You know, Asia's a big place. What kind of Asia are we talking about here?
There's lots of places.
There's lots of Asian is.
Come from anywhere.
I mean, are we talking Far East Asian? Are we talking
Well, they're
Middle Eastern?
It's British.
Asian?
It's British people describing Asian. So remember that. You know, like it's going to be a little bit more narrow. You're not going to include Pakistanis as Asians.
What do they call Pakistanis?
Those Middle Eastern.
Okay.
Even though technically, isn't Pakistan part of East Asia?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, is Pakistan
or West Asia?
It's like right on the
South
cusp.
Asia. It's South Asia.
It's right on the cusp because it's right next to
Yeah.
China.
Well, you wouldn't consider an Indian an Asian, would you?
Indians would consider themselves
Exactly.
Asians. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's where I'm like, I don't know who's saying Asian. Is it a British guy? Is it or British, reporter?
And
'Cause they might have a different definition.
And
than
for
we
all
do.
we know, this could just be. I mean, maybe it's just funny that they're. It's funny that they're not. I guess they're not being specific right now. And I wonder if they're going to figure out motive. Like, did he leave a note, or, is there going to be a terrorist group that actually
claims
this and
Who
says,
knows?
yeah, that was our guy, or what's going to happen? But
They were just. You know what's funny? I was right there. I've been right where this happened. It was the Thames, and it was right. Oh my gosh! I visited London, and I was literally on that corner of that street. I know it's not a big deal. Like a lot of people have been to London, but I know exactly where this happened and what it looks like. If you were driving a car through there, there'd be nowhere for you to go except into the river.
you'd have to jump.
You'd have to jump into the river because, if I remember right, the street, right, it's a split street across the bridge, and there's nothing to stop a car from running right into the
Immediate?
right into the median and then right into the sidewalk.
What
So
what kind of height are we talking about on the bridge?
not that high.
So like you could survive that jump?
Oh yeah, it's not that high. The river's filthy, but I mean,
I'm afraid of heights, and I think I would jump. I think I definitely would jump. Obviously,
it's not like London.
Sorry, that was really stupid. Of course I would jump. Let's see,
The river or get hit by a
hit
car.
by a car or jump into a river. That was dumb. Yeah, I think we all would do that.
They did the whole, get the PM out of there quick too. So Theresa May was out of there before anything happened.
Of course.
So as soon as they saw, like, oh, somebody's driving a car across, well, let's get the prime minister out of here.
Let's think about this for 1 second.
And get the prime minister out.
This is probably not a good place for the prime minister to be.
No, let's get her out.
Let's get her out of here. Governor.
They rushed her out of there.
Oh, of course.
Okay, here, look, you can see the bridge. See what I'm saying? I remember this. It's funny because this shadow from these things looks like, phallic. and
Okay,
stuff.
all right.
You're-
Let's get to the point.
But you see the bridge, right? There's like nothing to stop a car from
that's
just going right over the edge.
You know what
and
that
into
kinda-
traffic.
You know that kind
and
of
you gotta
reminds
jump
me of?
over.
That reminds me of the bridge going into D.C. What is it? The Memorial? No.
That one right next to the Kennedy Center?
The tiny bridge.
I don't know. I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, but it's like that, right? It's
Yeah,
like
it's
kind of
like
like
that.
a small 2-lane.
No, but in that one you've got like big pylons, right, where the statues are.
Yeah.
And on the other side of them is the walk path, and you've got like a guardrail between you and traffic.
Here you don't have that.
No, there's no guardrail between traffic and the pedestrians.
Jeez
So
Louise.
you got to jump in the river, or you got to stand there and get hit by a car.
Holy crap, man.
And what's messed up is, like this area, it's all the way across the bridge like that. So you got to either run and jump into the river or dodge the car.
Holy cow, man. That's insanity.
In this area, see, that's how high it is. I don't know if you could tell. You see where the water line is?
Yeah.
So underneath here, it's probably like 20, 30
20
feet.
feet. I would easily. I wouldn't even think about it. Wouldn't
Yeah.
even think. I would
jump over it.
just jump over it, be safe, hopefully,
Yeah.
But what kills me is like over and okay, yes, you're not safe anywhere when it comes to a terrorist act. You're not safe. It can happen anywhere.
Nowhere.
But I just feel like and I've been to Europe. I just feel like lately Europe is not
It's not safe.
a safe place to be right now. I mean, with all the stuff that's going on right now in Europe, it just seems like, it seems like it's open house. Is that the right term? Open house?
Open season.
Thank you. Open season in Europe. Like they're just, and what's been going on in, what is it, Sweden?
That turned out to be nonsense. I found out.
What?
Yeah, I checked the stats on it. It's hilarious.
Wait a minute.
The rape thing, right? You're talking about the rape thing, rape stats?
No, I'm talking
Okay.
about Sharia law being.
Oh, no, that's BS. Swedes would never tolerate that. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Okay, but you have actual Swedish people
Advocating for it, but
saying,
you got Americans who are asking for Sharia law, and they're getting told no. So I mean,
yeah, but I'm saying that there's enclaves
yeah,
that are actually patrolling. This is a real thing. I mean, there's video
patrolling and like enforcing Sharia law.
enforcing Sharia law. That's the problem.
That's concerning. Yeah.
That's hugely concerning. I mean, you know, it's one thing to say this is the what? Oh, I left it on. Boy, I guess the real danger is hookah up in this piece.
Well, yeah. I got a comment that what if this guy was loose in the U.S. with guns?
What if he was loose with guns?
Yeah. What if he was in the U.S. and England was as loose as we are with guns? England's very rigid about gun control.
All right, this is what I will.
Very difficult to buy a gun in England.
This is what I will say to that. If he has guns, but the populace is not allowed to have guns, then lots of innocent lives are going to be lost.
In this case, this guy didn't even have guns, and still people got killed.
If you have law-abiding citizens that do it the legal way, that get their guns the legal way,
Yeah.
that can actually protect before police can arrive, I mean, how many
times has that happened? Is what I want to know.
A lot.
Okay,
A lot. You can
in the major firing incidents I've read about, it's usually the police that get there first, before somebody gets out to their car, gets their gun, or if they're carrying it.
Well, wait a minute.
That's
the reason
example,
why they should be able to carry.
The best example is Texas. Texas has got open carry. Everybody can open carry in Texas, and you have the what was the university shooting with the sniper, right? You remember that? It turned out that the police got there before anybody could even get up to the tower to stop the guy.
Okay, good news.
Nobody could fire back at him either because he was in a tower with a sniper rifle.
Okay, good news in that situation.
Well, not a sniper. It was a Garand.
Good news in that situation. But what about the situation where he's not up sniping people, when he just takes a gun out and there's no police there at that moment?
Prior to California's restrictive gun laws, prior to that, I'm talking back in the 80s, they had one of the worst records of mass shootings. The worst recorded mass shooting. It happened in a restaurant. A man walked in there with a handgun, and there were 4 other people in the restaurant who were armed, and nobody could do anything about it.
But what if they did?
That's the problem.
But what if they
Training is usually the issue. I mean, you were in the military, so was I.
So let's assume that now mind you, when you get a concealed carry license, you're supposed to be trained. Now that doesn't they don't guarantee that your training's top notch. I mean, basically all they train you in, at least in the state of Virginia, all they train you in is what's up, Locke? All they train you in, sorry, I just saw who popped in.
That's cool.
All they train you in is safety, how not to shoot yourself, kind of how not to shoot yourself, how to not let it discharge in places you don't want it to discharge, stuff like that. They don't teach you how to be a sharpshooter. But here's my point. If you've got somebody who is, I'm just talking about the criminal element. If you got somebody that goes into a place and knows there's a bunch of sitting ducks, they're going to be, there's less for them to deter them from creating a violent act in a place where they're, but if there's, I don't know, that person might be armed, that person might be armed. I can't tell because they're all concealed. Well, now they're going to be thinking twice about, doing the robbery, doing the violent crime. They're going to think twice about that.
It's shell game mentality, man. That's a shell game. That's gambler mentality.
Explain.
Yeah, you have a cognitive bias of the fact that if there's a plentiful target environment, right? If you've got a target-rich environment, people are going to be able to do the mass shooting. And what have we learned about that from psychology? We learned that no matter what, even if you have hardened targets everywhere, someone will find a soft target to attack. That's their purpose. If they want to shoot people, they'll find the soft target wherever it is.
Okay.
So if you hardened everything, you'd have to have preschoolers with firearms.
Now let me ask you.
So
So what do you think about what's going on with because they have all these drills now?
The active shooter
the
drilling?
active shooter drills. What do you
think those are great. I think
it's
that's
right?
a good thing to do, is to prepare for the worst.
Okay, so now there's some schools where the teachers are actually well trained with firearms and have firearms.
I don't know how I feel about that, because I think that it's a recipe for disaster. The what is it? The stats about this. The number one types of firearm accidents are in the house, where someone owns a home and they have a firearm, and a child gets access to that firearm. So now you've just transferred things to the school.
But we're talking about trained people that have it
I
on
know.
them. We're not. Say you're talking about something else. I'm talking about in the school.
How often did you hold a firearm in the military?
How often?
Yeah. Did
What?
you ever have accidental discharges?
Did I personally?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so in my time in the Army, what we did is we went shooting all the time. You'd have to qualify
Sorry.
sometimes twice a year, sometimes 4 times a year. So I had my share of experience in firearm discharges. A round gets lodged in the what do they call that?
Yeah, the
breach.
The breach.
Yeah,
Thing.
you can have a couple of different kinds of breach. And what I'm worried about is that now these kids who are never exposed to guns otherwise are now exposed to them, and these kinds of accidental firing mishaps could happen around them.
Now you do realize
And
that.
that's where it's dangerous.
You do realize in the South, there's people right now from the South that are completely just like shaking their head and laughing at what you're saying right now.
Well, join the military.
Because they have children. They train those children. It's the curious children, first of all, that are the ones that are the most danger to themselves. But if you have children that are trained to just like you train a child to handle a knife when they're cutting their food, that child, look, when I was in first grade, did you know I stabbed myself in the nose with a pencil?
So did I. I think almost everybody has.
Okay, I was playing with it. I was like bouncing it on the table.
You stab yourself in the face.
And that bastard came back up and got me right, and I was bleeding all over the place. Now,
I didn't get myself that bad.
Should we
but
ban the pencils now?
That's my rationale.
We should ban the pencils?
No, that you should probably not have pencils around if
Ban
you're going to be
those
that much of
pencils.
a jackass with them.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
And what I'm saying is this, all right? When you look at I'll say cultures. I come from anthropology. When you look at the cultures, like down in the South, where guns are just a way of life.
Mm-hmm.
Children, you do not have the same issues where children are getting their hands on guns and accidentally shooting themselves or other kids.
I would say that that's not true. I would say you probably see it at a higher rate.
No way.
Yeah, if you have a gun in the household, the likelihood of dying from a firearms accident is like 6 times as high.
So it's not being reported. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's being reported. It's just people ignore the stats. People completely are oblivious to the reality of the dangers of guns.
You do realize that most of those stats about children.
It's not children. It's the parents sometimes who accidentally shoot themselves.
Fine, but
Misfire.
you do realize most of that's happening in places like inner cities or,
It's
violence.
It's a heat map, man. It's just population controlled. Higher population density, higher ownership of guns. That's where it happens more often. It's a matter of having a gun. Guns accidentally misfire at a specific rate, and that tends to kill people.
All right, so let me ask you
That's
this.
all I'm saying. I'm
Let me
not
a-
saying
let
there's
me
like
ask
a
you this.
motive.
Let's go back to England, okay?
Okay,
Let's talk about gun-free zones. Japan, England, Australia, places like that, okay?
This dude was shot within 40 minutes. I just want to point that out.
He was, but
So-
still, it's a gun-free zone, okay? Hear me out.
Yeah.
If you do the legislation so that it's a gun-free zone,
Okay.
how does that keep guns away from criminals that are going to use them anyway?
How does it? It doesn't. Criminals are going to acquire firearms if they have the ability to. And in the case
So
of
how's that
in the
making us
case of
safer?
England, in the case of England, this guy was a terrorist and he couldn't get his hands on a gun. So I mean, let's look at the examples of gun control.
So you're telling me that criminals can't get their hands on guns, and
No,
you
I'm
think
saying
that
if
there's
you're
none of that?
No, I'm saying if you're determined enough, you can get your hands on a gun. But this guy was obviously determined enough to kill people, but did not manage to get his hands on a gun.
I'm talking about gun-free
So-
zone. Hear me out though.
Okay.
I'm talking about yes or no, criminals can get their hands on guns if they are so motivated
Yes.
in a gun-free zone.
Yes.
Okay.
And what do we see is most often the case with people who are committing these spree shootings. They are people who are law-abiding citizens who acquired their guns legally and showed no signs of mental illness. Or showed limited signs of mental illness. Most of the times, when someone commits an act of violence with a gun in the United States, it's somebody who did not demonstrate violent tendencies. Like the spree shooting at Sandy Hook. That kid, their guns were acquired legally. They had a background check. They had they followed all of the law to acquire their guns. So my question is, what are you trying to address? criminals are going to acquire guns regardless, and police are going to chase criminals that do that. So, like in cities like Detroit and Chicago, where you've got like a high murder rate because of gang violence, getting those guns off the street's going to solve a lot of problems. Not manufacturing as many guns would solve a lot of problems also.
I will agree with you that not everybody in the United States needs to have a gun.
Yeah, I say a lot of people don't.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And I agree that production of guns is haywire.
We sell a lot internationally, too.
I don't believe that a gun-free zone will make us safer.
I think, well, so we can put this to bed and not be righteously angry. I think gun-free zones are really effing stupid. I think the rationale used by the right is accurate in saying, hey, look, this is a target. This is a sign that says, hey, come shoot here. Nobody's got guns. I think that that's an accurate rationale. Like, if I was somebody who was mentally unstable and I had access to guns and I wanted to shoot a lot of people who couldn't shoot back, gun-free zone. Obviously. It's the one place I can go and I can shoot people and nobody can stop me. And you see that happen. You see that happen every time there's a spree shooter. So I think that the better thing to do would be to have like, hey, this is a regularly patrolled zone, or this is a regularly patrolled by police officers neighborhood. Police officers are by every 7 minutes or every 4 minutes.
Let me
like give them a warning. Hey, you could start some stuff here, but in 4 minutes the police are going to be by.
Adam Lanza,
Yeah.
who was the perpetrator of the
Sandy Hook?
Sandy Hook.
Yeah, his mother acquired the guns legally.
Right, and he stole them, which was illegal.
Okay, big deal.
You said
when
you
is
said,
that not going to happen?
You said that he acquired the guns legally.
He did. His
did
mother
not,
and him went shooting.
He didn't. Yes, but he didn't.
Yeah.
He did not acquire those guns legally.
What I'm saying is
he
the
stole them
criminals
from his mom.
acquired the gun and then committed a crime. Where in the world could you have stopped that is what I want to know. How could you have stopped that ever?
If you had a teacher in there,
he was taught. His mother taught him how to shoot.
No, you're not hearing me.
Like,
if you had a teacher or some kind of official that's there to protect those kids
with a gun. Okay, so he shoots her first.
Or him, right?
Or her.
Stop being sexist.
Well,
There's
I know who
too.
died in Sandy Hook. One of the teachers was a woman.
But the only thing that could have stopped a guy with a gun
is another guy with a gun.
What do you think? I'm asking you.
Is a police officer with a gun who has
police officer's not
years
there.
Of training.
Police officer's not there.
Then you're in a bad situation. I'm sorry to say it.
It's the difference between being acting reactively and being proactive before the fact.
I don't know. I think that the balance of probability is that if you put more guns into schools, you're going to have more kids get killed by guns.
But then you've got communities where.
And I'm telling you, you look at the stats, honestly, you're going to see more deaths as a result of guns.
You can say stats, but I can pull up stats that say the exact opposite, though.
I would say that you can't. I would say that if you look at the per capita gun ownership of any region, the higher the gun ownership, the more likely people die from gun accidents. It's it's a balance of probabilities. Or gun violence.
Gun violence, gun act, those
Both.
are two different things,
Both.
first of all. We got to make sure we're
I think you're going to see on the balance
thing.
of probabilities, if you look at per capita gun ownership, you're going to see a higher rate of incident of either gun violence or death by accidental gun misfire.
You know one thing?
So
I don't
you're going to see that.
I don't remember who said this, but this is kind of coming from a human level.
Huh.
I don't remember who said this. It was on the radio. I was listening to radio, and they were talking about there was like a bunch of what do you call it? Armed robberies. People like breaking into, what do you call that? Armed burglary, I guess.
Beanie? Oh, strong arm.
Yeah, with basically burglary with the gun. They were busting in.
Okay.
And they were putting people at gunpoint, stealing everything, raping wives.
My buddy pointed out something else.
What's that?
That's kind of way I didn't even think of that. He said, okay, so in the Sandy Hook situation, teacher's got a gun, and Adam Lanza walks up with his rifle and starts shooting. She pulls out her gun, and she fires at him. She misses and hits a kid. She fires again. She misses again. She hits a teacher behind him. She fires again. She misses and hits a security guard.
Well,
and then she finally hits him on the fourth shot.
well, that you know what? That's a really fun.
It's a scenario that's the
that's
Wild
a-
Wild West.
That's a really fun. Well, I'm hoping that it wouldn't be the Wild Wild West. I'm hoping that the people would be trained not to do something like
They're
that.
not going to be experts, though, and they're going to be fired at. They're going to be scared.
Well, what do you think about experts actually taking on those roles? What if that was actually a thing at schools? That was a deterrent.
Security guards?
Yeah.
I'd be cool with that.
Okay.
As long as they're not, like, privatized. I'd want them to be federal employees
Federal
or
employees?
state employees. Either one.
Why is that?
Or municipal, or they could be county employees. Because it's a community thing, dude. I want the community to be able to say, hey, look, we're looking for people who are properly trained to come in and be security guards for the school. I would want the local county sheriff and possibly the National Guard to be involved in the training of this person.
So no cowboys from Blackwater.
No, yeah, no private, like, oh, I got my certification in personal security from a Cracker Jack box. Like, what? Why are you guarding a school? You need to be somebody who's been approved by the local sheriff.
Right.
Or-
I'm with that. I'm with that. So it sounds like if we could just have better security at places where you've got soft targets like that, it
Yeah.
would be a better.
Oh, yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay.
Totally.
Well, we
like-
solved that one.
Yeah, like, I would want it to be like, if it's got to be all-day school and the guy's got to be around for the whole day, or the girl, I mean, it would be cool to have it, like, split up that way. You've got, 5 days a week schools in-house? Or schools going on, so you got 8 hours a day, split it in half. Part-time job for somebody.
Now you got another job.
You got 2 new jobs.
You just made new jobs.
Yeah, and
Genius.
they're funded by the local school's tax dollars.
There you go. We did it. We did it. We did it.
Yeah. That court's adjourned.
Court is adjourned on that one. Let's see where we're at.
What's our next topic?
We're like kind of like at the ending point here.
Wrapping up?
But I don't know, man. I mean, honestly,
I bled you down on that one. I'm sorry.
we've got we've got rapes. We did promise rapes.
We promised rapes?
We promised to talk about the rapes that have been going on.
Yeah, Maryland.
I need to watch out with my sound bites. So, if you guys have been watching the news in Rockville, Maryland, there was a group of students, some younger than others, some older than others. Apparently, I mean, there was a
14. I sent you the stats on it. One was 17, one was 18. The girl was 14.
insanity, and they took.
Last comment. I got a comment.
Oh, what's that?
Some local schools have watchdog dads that volunteer. Right here in Loudoun County.
Now, who trains those fathers?
That is why it needs to be formalized, in my opinion. Like, I think everyone's going to feel a lot safer if there's a formal process there. You get training, and the dads can continue to volunteer, I think. But there should be a formal trained person for that. Somebody who's like trained in crowd control and all that jazz. But let's move on. The Maryland it was Rockville, right?
Yeah, Rockville, Maryland. Brutal details emerged Monday. Alleged rape of a 14-year-old girl at a Maryland high school by 2 male students, at least one of whom was in the country illegally. The unidentified student at Rockville High in Rockville was violently raped, sodomized. Oh
Whoa.
my gosh! There. Oh, sorry. I'm on one of these sites.
Kill the sound. Kill the sound.
Kill the sound. Hold on a second. We will not plug you. So violently raped, sodomized, made to perform oral sex in a campus bathroom stall by the 2 males. Holy cow. Jose O. Motano. I don't see a tilde. It must be Motano. 17 from El Salvador. And Henry E. Sanchez Milian, 18 from Guatemala, were charged with first-degree rape, 2 counts of first-degree sexual offense after they attacked the girl at 9 a.m. last Thursday. The victim was walking in a school hallway when she met 2 male students identified as Montano and Sanchez. Montano asked the victim to walk with him, and Montano asked the victim to engage in sexual intercourse. She refused.
Oh, boy.
He asked the victim again, then forced her into the boys' bathroom, and then into a stall, and then they raped her inside the stall. Court records describe the merciless and brutal assault by both, who allegedly raped her multiple times. Golly. And the victim just knew just one of her attackers.
She only knew one of them?
Only one of them. Okay. So, all right. So,
I
what?
think you and I are on the same page on a couple of these issues that are present in this case.
Holy cow.
The number one thing being, like, if you're going to a public school in the United States, I'm going to stand apart from a lot of my my very liberal-minded friends in saying that you need to prove citizenship. That is beyond question. If you are in a public school, you need to prove the citizenship of the child that's attending. I can't compromise on that, and that's a really right-wing position. This kid shouldn't have been in school. He shouldn't. Neither of them should if they're not citizens. But the main one, the one that wasn't a citizen, he shouldn't have been there. Like, he should have been at public school. He shouldn't have been anywhere in the area.
Okay.
He should have, like, I don't know how you could register for school and not provide citizenship documentation. You can't even get I don't know. You can't register to vote without proving your citizenship. You can't. There's so many things you can't do that are required in order to participate in public education that they don't add the citizenship portion. It seems kind of messed up.
Right.
So.
Well, according to some sources, that the governor of Maryland said that I guess they've been trying to make Maryland a
safe haven state.
A safe haven state, and apparently he says he's not signing the damn thing if it comes across his desk. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing is, being an immigrant doesn't mean you're gonna rape people. You know.
What? I'm just kidding. Keep going.
No. I just, like, if you're gonna.
That was Borat.
For the
what?
kids. For the kids that, you know, you can't go to school until you're a citizen. That should be pretty straightforward. But regardless, there's this assumption that immigrants are criminals. That's, I think, a more pervasive social ill, in my opinion.
What do you mean?
Like, this case is highlighting a lot of problems when it comes to immigration. Like, assuming that someone who's an immigrant is a criminal is kind of a problem, don't you think?
Assuming that an illegal
immigrant is a criminal.
Immigrant is automatically criminal?
A violent criminal. Somebody who's going to commit rape and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Somebody could be in the country through no fault of their own accidentally.
I've known illegal immigrants that are like the best people. Absolutely the best people in the world. Illegal immigrant, what does that mean to be an illegal immigrant? What does it actually mean?
It means to come here without, I don't know, without approval, without clearance, without...
Just not doing it the right way, right? And what is the right way? In the United States, you got to go through...
Immigration.
You got to go through the system.
Customs and...
It takes work to do it. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a pain.
It's a pain. It takes time. There's red tape. These guys are jumping the line so that they can, a lot of times, escape a worse situation for themselves. Okay?
Sometimes.
I understand. Yeah, and sometimes from nefarious reasons. And that's the problem, is the whole reason you have the system that you have, right, the process, is so that you can weed out the bad from the good. Because you've got people that are coming in because they're trying to make a better way for themselves, a better life for their families.
Oh, yeah, I think that's more often the case.
More often the case. But guess what?
You also get the bad seeds.
You also get the bad seeds, too. And it's like, okay, well, we've got this formalized process. Cool. Well, unfortunately, not everybody wants to go through the damn process.
Yeah.
And, you know...
I mean, I'm pretty sure this guy would get tried as for his crimes, but if he was a citizen, he'd be tried as an American for his crimes, and he wouldn't be leaving the country. He'd be going straight to jail. Prison. Federal prison, maybe, because he did it on federal property or public property.
Okay.
So, like, it's one thing, he's going to get deported, maybe. I mean, he's 18. He's not a minor anymore, so they're probably going to deport him.
Wait. This is news to me. You're telling me we don't jail people just because they're not...
We do jail them. I'm just saying he might get deported instead if he's committed crimes elsewhere.
First of all...
Okay, go on.
Guatemala's not extraditing him.
They're not gonna. No, we want that rapist.
No, we need him in our... No, they're not extraditing him. Second of all, we're not letting go of him.
Nope.
Sorry.
State of Maryland's not going to let go of them.
State of Maryland's not letting that happen. As liberal as they are, that ain't happening.
Throw them under the bus.
It ain't happening. Honestly, I don't know. I raised the question earlier with you about... Oh, what's up, Navid? Navid's in. I raised the question earlier with you about what about... Okay, is it cultural? Is it a cultural norm in places like, in Central America.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The treatment of women more as, objectified, or,
I'm not from there. I don't know.
you know what I mean? Like, is it life is not so precious, in that area, that maybe it's dehumanizing. I don't know. Like, you just look at kind of like the fruits of what's happening, right? Or I don't want to call it fruits,
Well,
but
I
you know
don't
what I
want
mean?
I don't want to mince words, but that area, Guatemala, El Salvador.
Civil wars,
I mean, those.
chopping heads,
There's a lot of violence in the history
lot
of those
of violence,
countries. So,
lot of violence. Yeah. So the question is now, when we
and you see Americans doing the same sort of thing too. So let's not like let's not make them the out group. Like,
yeah,
oh,
but,
they're from that brown country. They
Well-
obviously don't respect the same values we do.
well, wait.
A lot of Americans rape too. So
What-
I mean,
Well, okay, sure. My question is, here it is definitely, so far, is a social taboo to just go around raping.
it's pretty much taboo.
It's frowned upon
very harshly.
to rape.
It's frowned upon to even think of it.
Yeah, to say the word.
Yeah, make jokes about it.
You're not making jokes about rape.
No, I mean to make jokes about it is heavily frowned upon.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're not making jokes
No,
about
you're
rape.
not gonna get away with it.
However, in other countries,
Yeah, not so big a deal.
maybe it's not that big of a deal. I mean, maybe it's a deal,
But not as
not as severe. Maybe,
Yeah.
and I mean, maybe it goes back to like I said, objectifying women to a certain extent,
or treating them like property.
treating them like perfect. I couldn't have said it better myself. You know,
We stand against that as egalitarians. We see people as nothing like property. People are not property. Women are people. Pretty simple stuff.
you would think, right?
Yeah, I mean you'd hope.
Yeah. So that leads me to the question: is okay. So, assuming that this guy understands that rape is wrong,
Assuming.
What else? I mean, like, what do you got? I'm trying to throw out all the excuses
What
right
else-
now
what
just to
else
get
would you
them.
need? Yeah.
Mental illness,
Maybe socially stunted. Like
socially
he
stunted,
has, social problems. Maybe abuse, sexual abuse in the home.
sexual abuse. That's another good one. A lot of
Um,
times, people that were sexually abused as
Tend to
as
perpetuate
youth
the crime. Yeah.
tend to, yeah, exactly. And I mean, not just sexual stuff, but other stuff too. Like if you were hit as a kid, you just might hit your children. I mean, it might be a thing for you, a norm, a
Yeah.
social norm for you. I'm just trying to. I'll be interested.
There's no
to-
excuse for what they did, dude.
No, I'm not saying excuse.
No,
but, but
rationale. Okay.
yeah, you always look at what's the motive here.
Okay.
What is the motive behind what they did? What they did was like, you've heard of like, date rape, right?
Yeah.
Okay, date rape is rape. It's bad. You're going to jail. Don't do that. Don't joke about all that, right?
Yeah.
I would say this is a little bit worse
I would say this is a lot worse.
because we're talking about like there was violence, like a lot of violence involved here. I mean,
This is a fresh story too. We don't really have all the details.
we don't
coming
have
out
all.
yet,
You're
so,
right. You're right.
Like I don't want to like police our commentary, but there may be more details that come out as the time goes on. Like we have no idea if they beat her on. Like they said that she was assaulted, but we have no idea if they really beat the crap out of her. On top of doing
Well,
all that.
either
so.
way, this is still a violent.
No, I know, and I
The
mean,
act was very violent. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it wasn't like.
all rapes are very violent. But yeah.
Well, yeah. Well,
Severity is what I'm talking about. Like we're gonna
Yeah.
hear about like the severity of what happened here. We're gonna learn more about the guys, what was going on in their lives.
right.
Why is he an illegal? Was he brought here as a child?
It'll be
Because
interesting.
if he was raised as a child here and he's basically been American, I got a lot less like leeway and understanding. Like he's
you're saying
you're an American basically, and
you're-
you just ugh.
you understand the.
But now he's a freaking talking point for the right now.
I was just
Like,
about to
I'm-
bring that up. So
like that's what's messed up. Is
so
like,
did Trump tweet about this yet? I
oh,
mean,
well,
I told you.
happened in the backyard, I guess.
See, I told you. Yeah, I don't know. I want that'll be interesting to see if he even makes a statement
Yeah,
about
makes
this.
a mention. I would hope that the governor makes a really firm statement about it, and I think he already has. So we shall watch with great interest.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what kind of where this story goes, man. And again, I mean, as far as my I'm sure with you too, man. Thoughts and prayers to the girl, her
Absolutely.
family, and of course the other girls at the school. You know, like that are now, you know, like they got to be scared out of their minds.
Oh, that's the other thing. Was this the one that was broadcast on
No,
Facebook?
no. So
Okay.
the other rape incident was broadcast on Facebook Live,
Yeah.
where I guess there was like 11 viewers and nobody called the police.
Nobody called that's the bystander effect, man. If you don't know what it is, look it up. Oh yeah, this story and yeah, this whole thing, this story comment, the story about the rape in Maryland wouldn't have even been national news if he wasn't illegal.
Get out of
It
here.
would. I don't think it would have been.
You kidding me?
If he wasn't an illegal immigrant, would it even have any merit as a national story? Did
What-
you hear about any rapes in Arizona last week?
Because of the
Illegal immigrants.
Well, yeah, but for us, we're in the Washington D.C. area, so it's local news.
That's true. For us, it's local news,
So-
but it's national coverage. It's going on like CNN and
Yeah, but
AP and all that
national D.C. news is national news.
stuff. Exactly.
You got to realize
We
that
we
too.
live in a very big bubble, so
Huge. So I mean, like, you know, if
Where was
anything
it going?
happens here, everybody knows about it.
bystander effect.
Bystander effect.
Bystander
What
effect.
is bystander
The
effect?
bystander effect. Everybody should go look it up. Bystander effect is messed up. That the number of people involved in witnessing an incident that's horrific and violent, as that number goes up, the likelihood of any one person in that crowd to contact the authorities or to do something about the horrific incident goes down. So the larger the crowd, the less likely someone's going to act out from the crowd.
I think we can all look in our own lives, in our own like selves, and see where that could happen. Because how many times have you been like maybe at an accident or something like that, or whatever, and you're just like, well, somebody's going to take care of that.
Yeah.
Somebody's on the job.
You have just quantified the bystander effect. Quantified it perfectly.
Yeah.
It's that feeling of, well, someone will solve this. It's not my problem.
It's not my job.
Yeah, it's not my job.
Not my job.
But the number one thing that helps people solve the bystander effect is awareness of it. So we're probably helping people avert the bystander effect by talking about it. In CPR training, they teach how to fight the bystander effect in a crisis. Now, we talked about this a little bit before.
Yeah.
That when you're doing CPR for somebody and you need somebody to call the ambulance.
You with the glasses. Go call 911 right now.
Yeah, you call out somebody and you name a feature of their identity so that they feel like they're required to participate in that exchange.
Who? Me?
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
somebody call 911 won't work.
Hey, idiot. Yeah, slackjaw.
Yeah.
Call 911. That's 911.
You with the weird looking teeth.
You.
Go call 911.
Two teeth.
Yeah, 2 teeth.
Green
bag.
Turn it into like a roast session. Yeah, you with the
With the curly hair.
Yeah.
That looks like it's yeah, no, I'm not.
you're not going anywhere with that. All right.
No.
Yeah, so
That's what you do. You got to call somebody out by identity.
public service announcement there, or moral of the story is don't assume that you're not the hero.
Yeah, any one of you could be the hero. Anybody could be the hero.
And really it's better to have two heroes than just one hero anyway.
Yeah, if you know what the worst case scenario is, if you're witnessing something and you decide not to call the police, and another person witnessing made the same decision, that's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario is you both call the police, and the police are like, "Hey, we got a call about it. It's all good."
Cops were like, we weren't going to come after the first call because we weren't sure, but
Yeah.
the second call,
Second call did it.
that was it.
Trust me, they'll take you seriously even if you're the fifth caller. Just call.
Yeah, definitely. That's really important.
So
And you know, I really wanted to. We don't have any time for this, but I really wanted to get into the problem with. If you look at our culture, right, and of course I'm talking about the American culture. It's the only one I can really, I'm in. We are getting so much garbage fed into our minds regarding sort of what our roles are. Like, okay, so for men in particular,
gender role.
gender roles, and I know I don't even want to use that. That's a loaded term, but you look, okay, perfect example. One of my favorite comedians,
Patrice.
O'Neill.
Yeah. Ain't that better?
He said, "Ain't that better?" No, it's not better. Get out of here.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
I was chilling. One thing that he said that I feel like really kind of encapsulate this whole thing is that no matter how strong, and I'm talking on the men's side, right? No matter how strong a woman is,
Okay.
she's not really looking for a guy that's weaker than her.
Nope.
I've never heard or seen a situation where a lady was happy that her guy was a pushover or weak to her. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of things are in our culture is looked upon as weak. Like if you agree with her or if you don't badmouth her, that's weak. You're not a real no. You can agree with your woman. You can all that, but there's certain things. I think what was it? TLC, No Scrubs.
Yeah.
These guys that freeload on their women, guys that that they don't step up, they don't take responsibility. They're basically just like wastes of human space, and it's almost like a mommy role kind of, which really disgusts girls. From the women I've talked to, nobody wants to be anybody's mama unless
let's not go there.
I was gonna say unless you come out. All right. So it's like, okay, so as a man, that kind of gives you a clue if you want to be in a relationship where you're also kind of keeping her happy, keeping her content with you. It's step up, be a man. What does that mean? Well, one of those things is this sort of like, I mean, this is kind of going away from the whole rape thing. God forbid we get away from the rape thing.
Yeah, let's stay away from rape.
Let's stay away from rape. How about that? But but this idea that men have to take as opposed to romance and court and convince, I guess, that I am the right one for you. It's a weak son of a bitch who just takes something that was not given to him. You know what I mean?
I think it's the weakest thing you can do is succumb to that.
Is
need.
to prey on a woman.
Yeah.
Because there's no other way that you can,
You're still on the rape topic.
Am I still there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
Perfect.
because taking that from someone, either like take the gender out of it, taking someone's sexual autonomy away from them is probably the weakest thing you could do.
Yeah.
Like
okay.
there's nothing weaker. Like your needs have now superseded another individual's rights to autonomy.
Right.
That's nuts. That's as I guess people, the way that we look at it, it seems really, really weak. It's I don't even know what other word to use for it.
So I mean, like, okay, so
It shows how you lack respect for another person's autonomy.
right. Well, yeah, exactly. And again, going back to objectifying women,
Yeah.
seeing them as property or whatever.
That's the culture.
But also being in a place where, I'm going to take this by the only thing. What was it? What was it that they said? They said a guy should not ever use violence against a woman because he's basically like using the one thing that he feels like he has against her, or what the one up against her is that, oh, I can take what I want, or I can beat you up or whatever. And it's like, wow, congratulations. You just basically proved that you have nothing else. You have not developed yourself whatsoever.
Yeah.
To be able to.
You're talking like intrinsically, like across the spectrum of social interaction.
And across the social.
So like any kind of violence.
Resorting to violence against anybody, but especially against somebody who's weaker physically than you, is like, really? You have nothing else? You can't dialogue, you can't debate, you can't reason, you can't do any of this stuff. All you can do is just assert your physical dominance over that? You freaking meathead. Like, what are you doing?
You'd like Isaac Asimov's quote on this.
Oh, okay.
Violence is the last refuge of the incompetent.
What's that?
Violence is the last refuge of the incompetent.
Perfect.
Asimov's the man.
Perfect. I love that. I love that.
So the incompetent, actually it should be their first resort. Where they go first is to violence. So
yeah, and again, I mean, really, in a relationship, what are some things that? Okay, what's the killer of relationships? It's bad communication.
yeah,
Work on your communication in your relationship. If you have a relationship, learn how to talk.
I do want to turn this on its head though.
Okay, here we go.
That there's another side to the problem in American culture.
What's that?
I think that it's pervasive throughout our society that we teach boys, and as boys grow up, to do two things that are pretty terrible.
Mm-hmm.
To be disposable, to be something people can throw away if they don't like.
What do you mean?
That no one has to value you as a person.
Voice.
Yeah, I think that that's like ingrained in our culture. Is boys are disposable. We make them join the military. We make them sign up for selective service. If things go sideways in a relationship, obviously you're the bad guy all the time, no matter what. And then there's the other part of it, goes hand in hand with this, is seeking approval. Like we have this pervasive concept that boys can't be men unless they get approval of their peers or women. And I don't think that's fair. I think that if you go through life and you don't care about approval of somebody else, woman, your friends, whatever, that's fine. You shouldn't feel like less of a man or less of a person. We have a lot of toxic attributes to masculinity in the U.S., I think. And those are the two main ones that I think are pretty toxic. That you don't have any value, and that you need approval from someone else to feel like a whole person.
Oh,
so those are two things that I think that are the most important.
And because you did say that,
What?
I will tell you that's the reason why having God
Oh gosh.
as your approval and as your identity trumps. Whoa, did I just say Trump?
Oh jeez.
Trumps. That was a mistake. I don't want to use the word, but it's the right word. Trumps anybody else's opinion of you,
From your lips to God.
of your self-worth, of all that. So if you believe that there's a God that actually loves you, cares about you,
yes.
all that good stuff.
Yes, you can have an artificially inflated sense of self-worth.
Right.
And I agree with that. I think that you can have a sense of self-worth derived from a belief in God. I don't think that makes it real. I think that if you don't seek approval from anybody, you're going to find worth in yourself.
Hey man, proof's in the pudding, bro.
Yeah, well,
Proof's in the pudding. I do want to say, so Sandra's with us right now, and
Hey,
she did give us a really good thing to be mad about.
What'd you plug us?
And Sandra, this is going to be the last thing that we talk about tonight, thanks to you, and we're only over about 24 minutes, so we're doing pretty good. Sandra says, people being pissed. Okay, I asked, what topic is making you angry right now?
Okay.
Sandra says, people being pissed about the electronic device ban on flights from certain countries because, quote, how on earth will they entertain their child on such a long flight without an iPad, unquote.
Maybe talk to them and play. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh.
Electronic ban.
Get out a piece of paper and a pencil and draw some stuff with them.
Holy crap. Talk about, what do they call that parenting when you, it's not hell, no. What's that parenting where you just like shove a phone in their face and say, all right, kid, shut up.
I have no idea, but that sounds like just pacifier parenting.
I guess it's not parenting.
Yeah, it's not.
There's another word for that.
Babysitting.
Yeah, I know with Tanya and I, we try to make sure that, our daughter, she becomes the devil incarnate whenever we let her watch TV for more than like an hour. Yeah, she becomes something else. So it's kind of twofold. We want her to actually like do things as opposed to watch things, but also there's like a consequence. If we let her watch something for like more than an hour, she becomes evil.
Okay, that's a strong word.
No.
She becomes like a little sociopath?
Yes.
Oh.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Who's getting the Hannibal Lecter mask?
Yeah, I should have like a little a little cart a little cart, a human. Well, what are those things? A dolly or whatever.
Dolly for a person.
A person dolly and a
little.
little.
You got to get a little straight jacket for her
and get her some Chianti and some liver or whatever.
Liver.
Yeah, she really does become a little like Hannibal Lecter when she gets her TV time.
I don't pacify, but I do let my boys like go to town when they're at my place and play as much games as they want to, because I think that they
Older
engage
boys.
me. Yeah, I
You
got older boys.
You got older boys.
They like to engage playing video games.
Yeah.
But they also like to tune out. So what they'll do is they'll play for a while and then come back and be like, "Hey, we're gonna eat." And yeah, we'll eat, and we won't be on devices while we're eating.
One thing that has
Make
always
time for them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you know, I've always envied fathers that like did stuff with their like I
don't do much, but
my dad once again I was raised by my mom from 12, right?
yeah.
And I always looked at the kids that were hanging out with their dads and going out there, and I remember playing football with my dad before the divorce. Had the greatest time, and like I envy that. And it's like, being a oh, what's up, Josh? Right on.
Late arrival.
Late arrival. Hey man, we've got about 10 minutes left here. But being like a child of the 80s,
Yeah.
where no cell phones. I mean, you had the bricks, but only rich people had cell phones.
I miss having a Walkman, honestly.
Yeah, well, freaking cassette tapes and all that. But hear me out.
Yeah.
I played in the woods. My dad took me out. We played football. I rode my bike. Back in those days, apparently there were no. You went fishing?
I went fishing all the time.
Oh, right on, man. No, I never did that.
I fished. I made my own fishing poles.
Check that out. See, how awesome. No, listen. How awesome is it to like think back to those times?
That was a pretty great time.
And now I spend 80% of my time in front of all this.
Yeah.
Which is fun. I love hanging out with you guys. It's great, but it's not good for humans.
Human beings are meant to be outside.
We're meant to be
In the sun.
with each other.
Yeah.
Like Joe Rogan. I like his podcast. Check out Joe Rogan Experience Podcast.
Free plug.
There you go. Free one for you, Joe. I'm sure we're helping you out a bunch.
He needs it.
He needs us. But Joe Rogan, man, that guy, he goes out there. He goes hunting with his people. He goes. He does the jujitsu. So there's like that camaraderie. He works out with his friends. He goes out. He does stuff with people.
You gotta.
I envy that life. Being a producer at Vicar Studios, doing stuff like this, I love it. It's fun. It's great. But, sometimes I just miss going and calling my friends up and saying, let's go play some basketball.
Should do it, man. Life is not tomorrow. Life is today.
I got a net. You want to go play?
Let's go.
All right. We're going to go play some basketball. Hey, guys, thanks a lot. It's been a fun episode. Righteous Anger Podcast 3, where we talked about all kinds of stuff, including, you just have to watch the episode, watch the show. This has been Leo and Eric, and
We're outie.
we're outie.